Alicia too, and welcome back to my universe. I am here with another episode of the Alicia review because just a few nights ago I was having a little get together with my family. We were trying to find a great film to watch, and it ended up being one of those nights, I know you've all been there, where you end up scrolling to find a film longer than it would have actually taken you to watch one. But then we came across a little film called Ricky Stanicky, and it was a pure game changer. There are a few reasons I really wanted to watch this film, and the first being that it stars the one and only John Cena. Another reason being it's a Farrelly's Brothers movie, and pretty much everything they've turned out over the years I've happened to love. And the third reason is because I have been looking, searching, yearning for a fantastic raunchy comedy, and most of them have failed recently. So I figured, you know what? Let's put Ricky Stanicky up to the test. So before I get to the review, you know the drill. Like this video, comment if you want to see Ricky Stanicky or if you happen to watch it as well and what your review and views were. And of course, subscribe to this channel. Now, let's get to my review. The film itself has an awesome cast, as alongside John Cena, there's Zac Efron, Andrew Santino, who I adore from the Bad Friends podcast with Bobby Lee. I've been super into that podcast as of late, along with Jermaine Fowler. So the film starts off with a bunch of kids. They end up putting one of those bags filled with shit on Halloween night on somebody's front porch. They end up putting it on fire, and next thing you know, the house is in flames. Now, what do you do when you're a young child and you don't want the blame to be put on you? You blame it on Ricky. So they create this imaginary friend of theirs to have done pretty much all of the horrible things that they've done throughout their life from childhood to adulthood, and that is where the film really just starts to take off. It was endearing from the first few seconds, to be honest. So we fast forward to adulthood. Andrew Santino's character is about to have a baby. They're throwing a huge baby shower. All of the friends are going to be there to celebrate. But of course, Ricky can't be there because, well, we all know Ricky's fake. So Zac Efron's character ends up getting a call. We're like, who's on the phone? It sounds like it's Ricky Stanicky, but we know he's not real. We're wondering what's going on. Next thing you know, we find out that there is a Ricky Stanicky Bible. It is literally a gigantic book full of lies that they have told parents, other friends, their fiancés, wives, girlfriends, everything. It is the Bible of all lies. And from there, they end up making another lie. They say that Ricky Stanicky's cancer is back, and they need to go visit him to help him out. So due to the severity of the scenario, their spouses let the boys off the hook, and instead of seeing Ricky, they end up just having a crazy night out. They go to a wild DJ set, they're gambling, they're drinking, they are having the time of their lives. And then they end up finding themselves at a bar, and they look to the side, and there is John Cena, aka Rod. So the boys start chatting it up with Rod. From the start, that you can tell that this character is pretty clingy, but also pretty hilarious. And he starts to tell them about his one-man show, the ingenious show that he came up with called Rock Hard Rod. And yeah, it's just as funny as it sounds. He gets on stage and they show, this is probably one of the funniest parts of the film, they show a little collage, a little montage of all of his live performances slammed into about a good 45 seconds. Cena's character is changing outfits. He has the makeup per every single artist that he's emulating. And the entire point of his one-man show concert is to take older songs and make all of them about jerking off, jacking off, coming, sperm, all of the above. That was a lot, YouTube. I'm sorry, but that's what his one-man show is about. So you are having songs being just completely bastardized in the most funny way. And the way that they portrayed that and they showed that to the audience, and Cena just, oh my god, he pulled it off so flawlessly. Everything from Billy Idol to Boy George from Culture Club to Britney Spears, he is channeling his inner diva and putting on an incredible performance in front of probably 5 people at a bar. I also don't know if you remember that photograph of Cena in a mini plaid skirt that went viral, but this is the film that photo was taken from. Now, excuse that slight ramble, but it was warranted. I had to take you into the fantastic world of Rock Hard Rod, and I don't regret it for a second. So we're back at the bar. The boys and Rod are about to go their separate ways. Rod slips them his business card because you never know as an actor, so he hands that over. And then, as the guys leave, they check their cell phones and realize that they are being blown up from their wives, their girlfriends, whomever's back home. And we realize it's because Andrew Santino's baby has been born. So the guys hop on a flight, they get back home, Andrew Santino gets to meet his baby, his newborn baby, and they explain everything. They explain how Ricky Stanicky ended up not having cancer again, how he was ribbing them, he just really wanted to see them, and yada yada yada. They kind of fill the holes to their gaping, terrible story to their spouses. The spouses forgive them, but of course, they're a little pissed off that they missed such a triumphant, huge moment that they should have been there for in their lives. So they say, you know what, we're having the brizz for the newborn child. Ricky needs to make it. And then the boys go into panic mode, but come up with a fantastic idea because they just so have happened to have just met an actor. They call up Rock Hard Rod, he flies out. John Cena arrives to the party and is fully transformed from Rod into Ricky Stanicky, and he is impressing everybody. He's schmoozing, he's spitting facts, he's smooth, he's happy, he's intelligent, he is charming, he is everything that they have explained this giving, kind-hearted man to be from their childhood up until now, and everyone is just in awe that they're actually meeting this guy for the first time, because you have to remember, he's not real. He's a figment of these guys' imagination. All of a sudden, poof, they're actually meeting him. Now, some people are still kind of skeptical, don't get me wrong. However, he made an incredible impression, not only on the family members and the spouses, but also on Zac Efron and Andrew Santino's boss. Now, I have to say that this has one of the funniest scenes I've seen in a film in so long. Jeffrey Ross is a guest in it, and he is the rabbi that's supposed to perform the circumcision. And I'm not gonna explain to you why or how, but he gets super drugged. I'm talking next level, should not have a knife near a little baby in any stretch of the imagination. So he ends up being there, he's about to perform the circumcision, he does one slice, and then he completely he's a goner. Everyone's panicking. What do we do? What do we do? And then, of course, Ricky Stanicky is amongst the crowd of everyone there watching this, about to go down, and he goes, I got it. Because apparently he performed adult circumcisions in some other part of the world. Ricky's done a lot of things. In this scene, everyone is manic, frantic, and they don't know how anyone is going to actually finish this circumcision. But Ricky steps in, and in the way that he does it was just outrageously hilarious. So at this point, the guys are so elated because not only did John Cena pull off a great acting performance throughout that entire scene, but also so did Rod. And here is where they pay him off, he goes on his merry way, and we truly think that this is all that we are going to see of Ricky Stanicky. But that, of course, isn't the case. The guys show up to work, and next thing we know, Rod is actually working there because he made such an incredible impression on the guy's boss. And, you know, this is where things kind of start to just fall apart for them. They try to get him out of their lives. He won't. He continues to act as Ricky Stanicky. He won't even acknowledge the fact that his name is Rod. He just replies, you mean Ricky? Ricky, which was also a little hilarious gag that they did throughout the film. He meddles in their lives continuously, messing up relationships, their friendships, and eventually the giant lie of Ricky Stanicky becomes exposed. But the way they did it was so funny, so humorous, and was very cheeky and intelligent. And I loved the fact that even though it was truly a raunchy slapstick type of comedy, it also had really clever writing throughout the whole thing. This film overall was so much fun. It was filled with raunchy quips, but never took anything too far. It had so many what the fuck moments and just ridiculous gags, but at the same time had that really good writing that I had mentioned underneath. And what I enjoyed is that nothing throughout it seemed too forced. A lot of the time when you are watching a comedy in this sort of genre, in this field, you kind of have to look away. They go too far sometimes, but it was really just a comedic whirl of so many different synchronicities and scenarios, and I was laughing throughout the entire thing. I also want to point out that when I was going into watching this film, I read the reviews, I went to Rotten Tomatoes, I went to IMDb, and everyone was saying how shitty this film was, how there are no laughs, how it's too ridiculous, how it's not believable. It's a comedy. The shit's not supposed to always be believable, so have some fun with it. Another thing I want to say is Cena's acting in this was so good. He was charming, charismatic, believable. He had me just smiling ear to ear. Anytime his goofy little charismatic character would come up within a scene, I couldn't wait to hear what was going to come out of his mouth. So that was really fun. And then there were other moments too when it came to the acting where there were some real quick-witted, long, big-worded lines to come out of his mouth. And I'm like, makes sense that he could pull that off out of anybody. So through and through, I really loved this film. So there you have it, my review of Ricky Stanicky. Be sure to check out this film now, and if you loved it, let me know in the comments. And if you hated it, tell me why. I'm definitely intrigued to know, even though you're wrong. I've been Alicia too. Thank you all so much for not only hanging out today, but for listening to my rambles. I'll be back very soon with yet another video, potentially another movie review. So stay tuned for that. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more. Bye everybody.